to Razz Reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing Captainmarvel. This 21st installment in the MCU introduces us to a very OP character while being set in the 90s. So bring on the 90s nostalgia! The movie stars an ageless Samuel L. Jackson and Brie Larson as Carol Danvers. Brie Larson has been stirring up a lot of controversy as this film is being marketed. There's something about her being a feminist and having feminist views and people taking offense to a lot of the stuff she was saying. And apparently your views on this film now reflect your views on women as a whole. And personally, as a woman myself, I can honestly say that I don't give a I subscribe to the theory that a film should stand out on its own regardless of who worked on it or what they think. I judge a movie by its own merit. And this film was okay. It was fine. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. It wasn't anything groundbreaking, but it also wasn't bad, and I didn't feel like it was some sort of propaganda machine. It was just a film about a female superhero who punches a lot of things, which is fine. So everybody calm down, please. I like Captainmarvel as a character, and I mostly enjoyed her interactions and relationships with those around her. And that was my favorite aspect of the film, which is why one of my favorite things about it is the relationship between her and her best friend. Which is why I wish the film dedicated more time to that particular relationship, because I really thought it was very interesting and it gave Carol Danvers the most character and personality. I actually really enjoyed the dynamic between Samuel L. Jackson and Brie Larson. They had really good chemistry, and I thought that was also a very interesting and entertaining part of the film as well. I also really enjoyed Ben Mendelsohn as Piccolo. I really enjoyed his story and his character arc a lot. For me personally, I actually enjoyed the second half of the film a lot more than the first half. I felt like the first half kind of lacked focus and felt disjointed, and I never really locked onto the character of Carol Danvers because she didn't know who she is, which made me not know who she is either. So I didn't really connect with her much. I only started connecting with her and understanding her better in the second half of the film. That's why when I left the film, I didn't feel like I made a very emotional connection with this character. Not as much as I've made with other characters in the MCU upon their first arrival into this universe. And I'm actually very interested in seeing her being part of the larger cast and the larger films rather than just on her own. I think she'll be a very interesting addition, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing her in Avengers. I mean, she's pretty OP here, and this movie really serves to tell you that. This movie just comes and knocks on your head and says, hey, Captainmarvel is very, very strong. Look, look, she's super powerful. Bring on Thanos. That's pretty much the purpose that this film serves, which is okay, I get it. I wish it served more in terms of storytelling and layers to the character, but I'm okay with it serving that purpose because at this point we've seen a lot of origin stories and I think we're a little oversaturated. I compared this film a lot to Captain America: The First Avenger, which had very similar beats and moments to this film. But when I saw that for the first time, I lost my mind because I haven't seen this formula so much. But now, 21 movies in, I see the same thing and it has the same merit, but still it doesn't affect me as strongly as it did in Captain America. Another thing that made this film not stand out a lot for me is the fact that I felt it didn't have any directorial style. It felt like it was by the numbers, and a lot of the way it was shot didn't feel like there was any artistic touch or voice behind it. It was just extremely basic, but I didn't feel any kind of new or innovative storytelling happen in it, like for example in Guardians of the Galaxy. Like when you watch a movie directed by Joss Whedon or Taika Waititi or the Russo brothers, you feel their touch in the film, which makes it stand out and have an identity. This film felt flat when it came to that, and I didn't feel like the directors behind it had any extra input than just making the movie. And this flatness was really reflected for me in the action sequences. I thought that the action sequences in this film were kind of underwhelming. Sometimes they were even a little too shaky and I felt like I couldn't see what was going on, but overall there wasn't any like wow moment. Towards the end of the film you get like the most epic thing and it was pretty enjoyable, but it didn't blow my mind. And again, I think I'm spoiled because so much has blown my mind in the last like 5 years. So it's really hard to top it. We've seen so many action sequences starring super-powered people. So at this point, it's become something that we are used to, and thus we've become a little numb to it. And I felt this numbness in this film in particular. A lot of people were talking or freaking out about the cat in the film, saying that the cat stole the show. I didn't feel that. I don't know if it's because I'm more of a dog person, or it's mostly because I don't like CGI animals. And the CGI in this film was not always great, especially when it comes to the cat. And I've made my views very clear on how I feel about CGI animals in films. But I just can't see animals that don't look real. It really bothers me. This is a real animal. That is not. I also think maybe the timing of this film is a little weird because it's coming at a time where it's towards the end of the phase and it's in between Infinity War and Endgame, which is so big and so huge and so destructive, and having a very simple by-the-number origin story might not have the impact. Maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like this film belongs at the beginning of a phase. Like at the introduction phase where we've gone through the battles, gone through the madness, we've calmed down a little bit, and we're ready to be introduced to new people and new characters. But it's not the worst MCU film for me, and it's not the best. It's a solid origin film. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't feel like I was being manipulated or I was hammered with some sort of political message. I actually thought it was pretty cool, a lot of fun. I enjoyed the nostalgia elements. I enjoyed the references and the music. And overall, it was a pretty cool time at the cinema. So I'm going to give Captainmarvel an 8 out of 10. So, have you seen Captainmarvel? What do you think? Where does it stand for you in the grander scheme of things in the MCU? Let me know in the comment section, and as always, like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to ask me what you'd like me to review for your next. See ya!